For 20 years, the official record said she failed a gender test. The Olympic Council of Asia made sure you'd never learn what the test found, who saw the results, or why a national champion was erased with a single sentence and no right to appeal. That's the story they told. It isn't what happened. Here's what the records were rewritten to hide. Her name was Santhi Soundarajan. She ran the 800 meters for India. In November 2006, at the Asian Games in Doha, she crossed the finish line in second place, a silver medal around her neck, 22 years old and one of the fastest women on the continent. She came from nothing, dirt floors, a small village in Tamil Nadu where a girl running competitively was not something anyone expected. She ran anyway because she was fast and because running was free. She trained until she was good enough to represent 1.4 billion people on an international stage. For 4 days after the race, she was a hero. Then a letter arrived. The letter said she had failed a gender verification test. That was it. No explanation of what was tested. No description of what the results showed. No medical terminology, no diagnosis, no pathway to appeal. The Olympic Council of Asia released one statement. She did not pass. The medal was taken back. Her name was removed from the results. Santhi didn't speak to a single official. No hearing, no panel, no legal representation. A doctor she had never met reviewed a test she had never been told she was taking, and someone somewhere made a decision, and the decision was handed down as if it had always been inevitable. Here is what you need to understand about 2006. Gender verification in sport was not new. The IOC had been conducting sex tests since the 1960s. By 1999, the International Olympic Body had officially abandoned mandatory gender screening, declaring the tests unreliable and harmful. The Asian Games ran one anyway. That detail is not in any official summary of what happened to her. The obvious explanation is that this was a medical matter. Sensitive, private. The silence, the argument goes, was actually protection. That's what officials implied at the time. It isn't what the timeline shows. If this were about protecting Santhi's privacy, her name would not have been released to the press within 48 hours. If this were about sensitivity, the Indian Athletics Federation would not have confirmed to reporters that she had their words failed to establish her femininity. If this were genuinely about medicine, someone would have offered a diagnosis, a referral, a way forward. None of that happened. Months later, Santhi tried to end her life. But that's not the part they buried. What was actually covered up is simpler and more damning than a sealed medical file. Gender verification tests in elite sport target one thing. They identify athletes with differences of sex development, natural biological variations that have existed in human populations across all of recorded history. Whether those variations produce athletic advantage is, to this day, scientifically contested. The Court of Arbitration for Sport acknowledged that uncertainty in 2015. The European Court of Human Rights ruled against the governing body that enforced such bans in 2023. In 2006, the Olympic Council of Asia ran a test that the IOC had already abandoned as unreliable, applied it to one athlete, not to every competitor in the event, just her, and then issued a lifetime ban with no diagnosis, no medical support, no appeal process, and no explanation beyond 5 words. Did not pass the test. Who flagged Santhi for testing? The OCA never said. A complaint from a competitor's camp is the most consistent account across every journalist who covered the story at the time. Nobody confirmed it. Nobody denied it. 20 years later, that question has never been formally answered. Here is what 20 years of silence is actually protecting. It is not what the test found. It is who requested the test, and why, and the fact that the same procedure applied to Santhi was never applied to the women who finished ahead of her. Santhi Soundarajan returned to athletics, not as a competitor, that was finished. She became a coach. She trained young runners in Tamil Nadu on a government stipend worth less than $2 a day. The silver medal she earned was never returned. No governing body has revisited the decision. No official has been compelled to name the person who filed the original complaint. The broader world does not know her name. That invisibility is not accidental. Her story threatened to expose the entire machinery of how sport polices gender, who gets tested, why, on whose request, with whose oversight, and whether the process targets the athlete or protects a result. A public inquiry would have required answers to all of those questions, so there wasn't one. The official record still says she failed a test. It does not say who asked for it. Somewhere there is a name. A person, a committee, a federation official, someone who made one phone call in November 2006 and ended a career. That name has never been published. No body has ever been compelled to release it. 20 years, one sentence, no hearing. What exactly are they still protecting?